Yo, what is good with another video, bro? Before I actually get into it, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Before I say anything, bro, I'm streaming for 30 days without talking. Why? It's a personal preference, it's a personal reason. So I'm not gonna be talking for 30 days, and I'll come back with mama jumbles and you're just acting crazy. But I want to talk about something, bro. Very controversial. I don't give a fuck about main breach. Let me just start there. You may think, well, main breach, let me show you. And before I actually break down the video, this is not about site setups. This is not about playing off site at all. What it's about is it's giving the enemy a it's giving the enemy what's the word? It's giving the enemy a head start to what they cannot finish. This is not it, bro. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like just giving them main breach isn't completely like the shits, but it's just like they have a way to actually win the game now. Like I said, so it's I can probably say it's kind of not like giving them an upper hand, like giving the enemy an upper hand and knowingly they cannot like pick up off that, even though you give it to them for free. It's difficult. Now this is where I actually start my gossip, my yapping. I have this weird energy when it comes to randoms, randoms and my teammates. It's like they don't know how to play sight. And every time we die and we lose a sight round, we always go back to the same thing. It's like, why do we always go back even though we're losing and dying? You know what I'm saying? The shit makes no sense. And it makes me highly frustrated because it's like, we know we're losing these matches and we're still going back to the same site, knowing that we can't win this. What is the issue? I came with the idea. I'm gonna call it my IGL strats. So what it is, I just it's not something that I guess. It's something that I make up in my mind as I play the game, and that's why I say like if you play the game long enough, you know how this game works and you know what's up. It's probably round 10. No, did was it not that round 8? It's like sorry. It's like you I'm a yap so much, bro. It's like my teammates they're just fucking horrible. So it's very hard to like set up site how they want to, and it's very hard to play site when it's so default. Cause like everybody knows everything, and it's like why the fuck am I getting peeked off of something that is so common? Like let's just say like you were like the best siege player and you made the exact same site setup as a fucking 5-year-old with one arm. It's like, bro, he can do this by himself. So my conclusion to that was it just said literally make up my site in my own to my best ability and also to help my teammates out. And I see the idea where my teammates decide to roam a lot. They like to run around and do things and not pay attention. Do you think that as an actual R6 player, you think this strat will work every single time? Think about it. You do the same strats every day. You wake up, no, you wake up, you eat your breakfast, you get on siege, and you make the same site setup as fucking like not Bolo. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna actually say some pro name because I've been seeing some pro players that I genuinely like for sure. Benji, he's fucking tough, bro. Bro, you wake up in the morning, eat your cereal, you get on siege, and you make the same site setup as Benji. Like, do you think you're good as him because you make the same site as him? No, it's how you play it. It's what goes in your mind as you're moving around. Play my part, but playing your part is playing your role, and playing your role gives you no position. You know what I'm saying? So don't let that fly over your head. So let me break that down. When you have a role, your role isn't a position. Your role is to not fill in, but your role is to identify those positions. Like let's just say your role is to roam. Your role isn't to position yourself in a roamer state. Your role is to roam and do what roamers do. That is your position. That is what you. That's what you take care of, and so forth and so forth. If you're a person who plays site, you're not really playing site because you're rook. You're playing site because that's not your role. It's your position. Your position can also overpower your role, and vice versa, depending who you are. So it's like, don't get the idea of like, bro, why is rook roaming? That's not probably his position, but that's his role because apparently Rook is a one is 3 armor, 1 speed. Imagine if he can absorb bullets. That's a perfect position because he's absorbing bullets as he runs around. Like he's not dying. And let's just say all of a sudden you have no ammunition because you shot Rook 10,000 times, and now he's not dead. He's inside chilling. You would be surprised how many operators sit in dumbass spots. It's like this to say like, why are you even here? Like, what made you sit here? You know what I'm saying, bro? It's like it be bullshit, and it's not site setup. It's like, don't think about it as a site setup because when you do that, you're gonna want to do it as a site setup, and then you're gonna play the wrong things too much. It's literally giving them what they want, and they have to play their cards on it. So I'm trying to find like a better example. It's like fudge. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how I can think about it. It's like take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of embarrassing. It's honestly a ego thing. It's like when someone who has a very high ego, they would give you a head start. The hare and the tortoise. They would give you a head start, and all of a sudden they're beating you in the race. But all of a sudden, like the moral is slow and steady with the race. Here ain't the case. The moral of the story is getting. You don't always. The moral of the story of where I'm coming from, as I'm making this video right now, is don't always accept everything as a gift. And that's the best way I can put it. Don't accept everything as a gift. We fall in scenarios where not only we think someone's not in a certain area or even in a certain position. We see soft walls, we see reinforced walls, and we think to ourselves, well, this is free. You run and you die by a cap can. Not because that cap can wasn't honestly protecting the reinforcement in a way, but it was an initiative idea of if someone thinks this is clear, they have no business checking it, so they're gonna just run and just not end up being careful. You would want to put it in a way that you don't want to give them too much leverage, but give them leverage enough to be stuck. You know, it's like you can crawl down a rope so much easier because you're just sliding and you're letting go a little bit so you can slip, but it's way harder to climb up a rope because you have to use force. You have to force yourself up. And later on I'm going to show and explain, and that means when you give up main breach you have to change site up. You have to, because it's not like giving it up and playing default site. No, because that's too much of a leverage. That's something that they can finish without even starting. Carrasco, and he said something crazy. He said crazy in a good way. He said he hates the fact that unranked is more competitive than ranked. And that's what I said. I have a video on that, bro. Like I literally said that it is, and he made a good point. He was saying because people hate the fact that rank has cheaters, and not only it matters, but it impacts you as a person, a player, and your gameplay. And then people go to unrank just to play it like ranked, and then get upset. Like you can't do that. You're fucking everyone over and yourself. It's like people take their rank skills to unranked. That's not how it works. You have to take your rank skills to ranked. Like that's how your skill is sharpened. That's how you see improvement. That's how you know you're getting good at the game. But either way, he said people should like normalize doing site setups. But watch this. Watch me and Capcan play this out. As I'm setting up site, this is where I want to get into like the video now. Capcan knows the idea of what I'm doing, and I love this about him because what did I show you? He synced with me. He is synced. Even though I'm not even hearing him, he's hearing me, we are synced. So we know what's going on. And as we do this, you can see how the enemy is one separated, two, they're droning more often than usual because they know someone's playing this. The Capcan goes off, and me being me, I'm just holding my ground back and forth, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And it later on around the round I got a kill, but how I got it, I'm not gonna praise how I got the kill, but it's just the fact that like I knew what was going on even though I couldn't hear or see anything. And then even though if they do take this, you can always retake it, but you have to get 90 before they do. And then as you see, me and Cap can, holding the aggression on these people even if they're not physically pushing up as quick. And you can see nobody is near fucking sight. This is what offsite does to enemy teammates. They have to overdrone everything. They have to actually play offsite like it's sight. And these guys know I'm here. Got Thatcher. The Capcan got me a free kill. I got the knock, and guess what? I got the kill. Guess what? Chalk it. Leave it. Don't overplay that shit. Just chalk it, bro. But I'm hearing someone 90, but I didn't chalk it all the way, but I did a bad idea. This is how I had it made up side. I made a rotation just so we can play this freely enough. Because no one really actually play EXO. Because EXO is a defending type of, push. And then as you see here, these guys actually came in and killed us. But there's another run I used the same strat, but it was more quicker. But honestly, it's just to go back and forth, and then I'm so mad. This happened because my duo, he wasn't on my C4, I mean on my camera, but he called him out, but he didn't let me know that he already walked down. I was so mad because that was the freebie right there. And as you can see, my Thorn he's fucking lost. Like, this is what I deal with every day, bro. He's permanent hold. If you want to permanently hold something without actually giving up your body and util, I won't say play off sight, but I will say this: you would have to risk something. So that means risking main breach, and that's where I'm coming from. The reason why I only made this site because I was telling myself I genuinely wanted to like lose main breach just to hold what I was trying to hold, and apparently we did win this round though. But me being me, like my mind scatters, so it's a lot that I would want. There's a lot that I would want to do, but time gets in the way. My teammates half-ass. My teammates don't help me. My teammates don't do what they need to do to honestly help a nigga out. When I come up with strats, it's all top of the dome, bro. It's all freestyle. Castle, my duo, is literally doing everything I told him to do. Let's watch him. Watch him. So this is so they don't get wall as fast enough. Even though we have Kaede, they breach master, okay. They have to breach closet wall now. They have no util to do anything now. Anything. So literally all the support was on the right side of the map. And let's just say, okay, cool. They can go ahead and take main breach, Why would you go ahead and take, main, not main breach. They can say fuck it and just go push double window off of dorms. That's cool and all, but it's an extra step to do that because again, you have players still holding your players as you still have people holding your defenders, attackers, blah blah blah. Like you still have this. I had an idea to get wall. It was like the process of elimination was my point, and my duo helped me out. And I think in the video I personally made in my free time, I did I did castle I did castle off what you call it, the window in this hallway. So that's about it. The thing about my random, what made me think, like, I had empathy, not kind of, I did. He said the beeper's going off, I have to peek it. Like, listen to that though. The beeper's going off, I have to peek it. No, you don't. And just look how fast this shit winded down. I switch. My Kae dies for fucking going down, and this is where he dies at. He said it's going off. We know that. Leave him push up, and he dies because he goes to fucking prone by accident apparently. The Wame flanks. He knows. He kills him, and then now it's just me. Honestly, to prove my point here, my brain was moving faster than my hands. You can't go through there. What the fuck is happening there? So I got kind of, fatigued right there. But yeah, and that's just something small, two strats and honestly trying to break down an attack. You're necessarily, the rotations and the site setup isn't to break, isn't isn't used to break down attackers' mindset. It's to give them ways to navigate. It's like a maze. They have to go through that maze. But now, when you want to actually dominate an attack, that's how you do it. It's not in site setups. It's not playing off site. It's not playing on site. It's making the strat hard to navigate. The maze, if you go through a maze and there's more dead ends than actual ends, you would realize this is not a maze. This is something bound to actually kill me. You know what I'm saying? And then you won't push it no more. Like, you're not gonna take that lead because you know for a fact this isn't what you are here for.
And I feel like this has to be said at a degree, but these sites, I've never actually used it in a ranked game for obviously obvious reasons, But it would be good to at least have like 3 people to do it, maybe 4, but of course 5 is better, but at least 3 people. My duo, he does do it, but it's like you don't do it fast enough. And certain strats need like that quickness. And then you can proceed to put your, util down. But this is obviously to defend downstairs in labs and lab support. They're not going by operator, they're going by what I'm displaying. And when you want to go back and forth with site, as you see as lab support is no lab yeah lab support is no lab medical actually sorry lab medical is reinforced. You're gonna have one reinforcement left. So if they do overpower electrical, no I mean exo, you can reinforce lab medical and then you will be safe. And this is where my debate comes in at. I personally and I purposely did not reinforce main breach. And you may think, why did you not reinforce main breach? Imagine how many traps can sit here and actually get kills. Let's just say let's just say we reinforce wall, they go Thatcher, they thermite all the traps. What now? You know what I'm saying? So just giving up the wall is not changing the outcome, but it's changing the like it's not changing the outcome, it's changing the scenario, you know? It's kind of like you can't escape your karma. You can't escape deja vu. Deja vu is something that it doesn't mean that you live this day. It means that you did something previously to lead to this day, you know? And then you can change that, in siege terms. You can change that. You can change that. So they wouldn't necessarily want to bring Thatcher because they don't need Thatcher. And then when they find out, like, okay, this is soft, they can just they're gonna bring someone to get the softball, Ash, Sophia, they're gonna do it, but not realize inside of site itself is where traps are at. You can finally put traps in these plant spots now, because they're not gonna drone them the first thing they do it, because why? This is soft. So normally when the site is reinforced with main breach being reinforced, they drone out breach and then drone out the spots that they need to plant. Versus when they just have a soft wall, I'm not saying that it's not going to completely stop them from actually looking at the plant spots for traps, but they're not going to pay that no mind because they already have something off their list so fast. Like it's going to give them a relief, a fresh air, like, okay, we got wall. That was fast. And now we just sit for 2 minutes. But reality is it's literally in the defender's hands, because I've already made a scenario, and I keep going back to scenarios because I feel like when I talk like this, no one understands. Like no one really makes it like. I feel like there's a concept where people don't like to hear me talk on Siege, especially, and I feel happy about that because my comms are getting better, but they don't like the fact that I'm talking in general. It's like, what do you mean? Like that's how you play the game, Like it's always. I mean, listen. I respect that, but when you're listening to something that we all hear, there's no point of listening. I am telling you, if we all hear the same thing, but no one's reacting, how can we actually win this? And there's two separate ways of holding this angle. As you can see, I have the reinforcement on one side and head hold as well, just to not give, not to give these guys as an attacker too much leverage. So on the first time I did this, I have it on the opposite. There's head holds on the left side, reinforced right side. Just so whoever's holding that angle, the ACOG, Aruni, Tubadao, anyone with a DMR, they can hold that. It gives them leverage to see double, and it's always good to have more. Remember that. But remember now, it's good to have more, but you have to know what you're carrying. It's that weight. So if you want to be the cool guy, you don't have to make the reinforcement there. It's still safe to do it, but then again, it's a stretch for the enemy and you, but for sure the enemy. All they got to do is come down that staircase and they can see directly to the site and directly see you, So that's just to support the player sitting on this other wall as well in medical. And it won't be difficult. And just to test out the aims, I did what I did, I used to run around, seeing how it feels. And I have a debate here. I'm gonna make this a different topic. Genuinely, as defenders, be in a defender mindset. Genuinely, who's more scarier? Don't say depending on the map, depending on this, because I feel like in like all scenarios, they're both good in their own little way. Fuse and Ram. Like, what's most scary? Hearing fuse charges, cluster grenades, getting literally drilled inside a room, and then you have choices of running, shooting it, or just dying by it, or you have Ram that does nothing to you but everything to her. So it's like, what's more scarier? Because most of the times, I don't care about Fuse. I don't really care about that. He's just gonna drill something. I run away, and then I go right back to my same spot. So it's like there's nothing that is gonna change me from not doing what I need to do from a defender point of view. With Ram, it's not damaging you, it's not killing you, it's not hurting you, it's fucking making you be, it's exposing you, bro. So when it comes to Ram, of course I'm gonna run away. Like, what the fuck is Ram? Like, she can literally see me, bro. Like, that's getting worse by dying by a fucking cluster charge or a grenade. I can run away from that. I can't, I need but I say that because ban Ram. Ban Ram. Ban Ram. Please. Just don't deal with Ram. That's it. Now, for medical, it's weird. Imagine you're on your drone, right? You're driving around, and you see someone already playing kitchen area. What do you think about that? Think about this, man. Now, just sit there and think about it again. He's already playing it. It's not like it's set up and no one's there, and you say, well, no one's here, let's push this, or like, what's this? You know, like, you're just curious, like, what is this? Like, you're generally curious, like, what is this site made for? Like, what is this for? All of a sudden, you die, and then you realize this whole thing is a fucking scheme. It's a whole plot. It's a whole, like, I won't call it setup. It's just look like a small little thing you can play for a little bit, you know, like for like a fucking second, you know. But think about that. It's it's mind-boggling. Like, there's no way you're already here, and then when the round starts, he's still there, and now you have to fight an extra extension just to get to sight as an attacker. You know what I'm saying? And it goes a long way when it comes from an actual good player. If the player who's defending that is actually good, you might have like a, you know, you're probably in a pickle. So don't don't think about it as like, well, this site setup sucks. Like, what the fuck is this? Impossible. It's all the mindset. It's all coordinations. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said earlier, y'all niggas, bro, including myself, and that's why I don't like. I'm just being different, bro. I don't like making I'm not a dumb, like, I'm not a dickhead. I will set up site, but if I see opportunity to make my own site setup and y'all AFK, I'm gonna make my own site setup, and then y'all gotta play y'all gotta play it. You know, like, whatever, and it's all coordination. And I feel like people have to actually name the sites because, you know, it's like a formation. You have to name that formation. Name the site setup, you know. It's not about A and B, like, no, it's about, like, you know, make I could make up a name right now. Make a AZ setup. AZ just means Azami. A AZ setup just means like anything that can overly support AZ. Anything. So that means make site look different. Anything that makes it overpowered. Do an AZ setup. What? Do a 2-3. Two upstairs, 3 downstairs. Play a 3-2. 3 upstairs, 2 downstairs. You can say call formation, blue cow. What is that? Blue cow just means you reinforce you reinforce all site walls, and then you just barricade everything up to cover your blind side. You know, I could go on and on and on and just make shit up. But my point is like you're gonna be comfortable in sight, but being more uncomfortable out of sight. And then it's a whole switch when it comes to you being comfortable outside of sight and you being uncomfortable inside of sight. Why? Because it's all about your perspective. It's all about your mindset. Why are you not in sight? You want kills. Why do you want kills? Because you know these guys push up a certain way. You know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And there are scenarios that make you think like that because you know it's always a fucking weirdo. And we all know weirdos are just people who just play so advanced. That's all it is. Weirdos and people who just like. Weirdos to me is people who play highly advanced so bad they like. They play advanced at a pace where like they try to bait you out. Cause it's like they know you're better, but they know you're better, but they also know that you can still be, you know, like, weakened, but they also know that it won't be easy. So they just hold angles, tight baby ass angles, they wait, they overly drone you. They're the ones that's droning you the most. Like, they're the ones who's killing you every round, and then when you pop off, they're the ones droning. What do you mean? Where are you? I want to kill you. Like, not your fucking teammates. Then all of a sudden, it's like, it's just chaos. That's how that shit works. That's a weirdo, in my definition, in siege terms. Those niggas, bro, are so annoying, bro. Like, whatever. But yeah, I did try my best to show every scenario that made me come up with this idea to, like, actually stick with it. I didn't get to show the tubed out one. I do have the tubed out one, so when that one does come to my Xbox app and the clip and stuff, I could clip it. But I'm already here making the VOD. I'm not gonna edit this part out because it's authentic. Why? I don't give a fuck because why did my Xbox not clip it fast enough, bro? So I'll be posting it on Twitter. Just this part alone, just to show whoever cares and whatnot. But yeah, it it's something not you. It's something you don't want to hold with your fucking heart. But what you can do, hold it with passion. Not with your heart, with passion. If you feel that tiny itty bitsy stroke in your heart to leave it, leave it. Just leave it. Any knock, anything you got going on up there, just leave it be. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not only gonna like slow them down, it's gonna give them a foreshadow of what could possibly happen. Because you know your hatch is open. They know you're on freezer hatch. They have util enough to make you get out of that vicinity, but the thing about it is you're tubed out. You can ice anything that comes through, ram, fuse, whatever. You can get the job done by yourself. And then when it comes to that time, they drop. Them dropping isn't the issue. The issue is they know that they're already screwed because you were previously up there fighting them. You chalked it, and you may think, oh no, we have hatch open, we're screwed. No, they didn't open that hatch. And it's something like this. You ever have that feeling when you do something, you know it's secure? Think about that for a minute. When a enemy combatant opens a hatch, that gives them power over the hatch because they contribute to the hatch. And imagine a roamer like Caviar herself. She breaks hatches and she breaks, no, she makes rotations. That's not gonna scare her because she knows what she's doing. Like she know why is this being done. And then when it comes to the attacker's eyes, it's like, why is sight hatch open? And you may think it's free. All of a sudden, you're getting baited out, and then you die. Because I mean, some people just drop down hatch because bot teammates don't fucking pay attention, and then you just lose around because you want to be cool and all, but you have to pay attention. But anywho, it's that demeanor. It's that appointed time. Don't give yourself a leverage if you're not willing to take the risk. Wrong. Don't give yourself a leverage if you're not willing to take the hit. Because a leverage is not a favor, it's a trade. So when you get trades, it's not something that it's a guaranteed life or death, it's a promised life or death. A trade is simply, a trade. But when it comes to that, for sure, you got to be prepared for that because it's gonna haunt you. It's bound to haunt you because you play like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect to be a good player just so people don't rush you. People don't, call you out the most. People don't target you. Don't expect that they won't do it. They would do it. Don't give them that leverage. So you have to be on your P's and Q's. And then when you do that, they get annoyed because they know like 5 minds cannot beat one, and it should beat one because it's a 5v1, but it's all about the pace and the timing when it comes with it. 5 minds think about everything. You have one about your nose, one about your mouth, one about your ears, one about your eyes, and one about your taste. That's all your 5 minds, 5 senses. And you have one mind, the brain, controls everything. So when you go against that, it's like, this guy has IQ. You see what I mean? So it's nothing to do with the 5 senses. It's just what that good player put them under. It's just be mindful where your mindset's at because you can keep track of one or more senses. So don't overpower your aim and then your IQ is shit. Don't overpower IQ and your aim is shit. Don't overpower IQ and then you have good aim, but your map knowledge is not too well. So it's like you really don't know what to pre-fire, but I could pre-fire pretty well, but you just don't know where. And when it comes to a scenario when it's like you don't want to hold your weight, then you have to, you don't want to. Why? you know. But yeah, that's that idea. Like always, have fun. GG's.